Hello there, singers. So if you are an aspiring singer, there are some non-negotiable skills that you must have. And one very important set of skills that is a non-negotiable are piano skills. Okay? Now, this does not mean that you need to be a virtuoso, okay? You do not need to play Mozart sonatas and Beethoven concerti, but you must be able to get around the keyboard enough to support your singing and whatever it is that you will do with your music career, okay? So, I am going to give you 5 essential skills at the piano that at the very least you must have. And these skills aren't difficult, they just take practice and consistency to master. So let's get to it. All right, the first essential piano skill that you must have is you must be able to play your melody on the piano of any song that you're singing, okay? Which means that you're going to have to learn how to read music at least in the treble clef and understand what notes get played on the keyboard and where, okay? So you notice this song, Amazing Grace. The very first note of this song is the D above middle C, okay? The second note is G, then B, G, B, A, G, E, D, and so on and so forth. So you need to be able to look at that melody line and play your melody on the piano with the correct pitches and the correct rhythms. And this way, you're going to be able to learn your music very, very quickly. And that's of utmost importance, okay? So that is the first really important piano skill that you have to have under your belt. Now, the next skill that you really need to be able to master is playing basic scales and basic chords, okay? Scales are the foundation for every melody, okay? The scales in the major and minor keys create all of the notes that you need to know that will appear in the melody that you are singing. So, when you can play the scale that the song belongs to, then you will have control over understanding where the tonal home base is. So for instance, in Amazing Grace, what we notice here is that we are in the key of G. I know that because I look at the key signature right at the very beginning of each staff, right past the treble clef, and there is an F sharp. F sharp is the one accidental in the key of G. So what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to play the G major scale, okay? So that we know that G major has only one black note, and that's F sharp, okay? All the rest of them are white keys, all right? And so you should be able to play them in both your right hand and your left hand. Helps get your fingers primed and ready to feel comfortable playing in the key. And remembering that anytime you see an F, you're going to have to play an F sharp. Okay? So scales are very important. Make sure that you learn your scales in both major and minor keys. Okay? Now, the next thing that you need to do is you need to be able to play chords. And one of the reasons is because, again, you don't need to be able to play fancy accompaniments or anything, but if you can look at a lead sheet like this, you've got the melody and the chord symbols right above it, and then you will be able to hear the harmonies that belong in this piece of music. Okay, so you notice that the first chord that you're going to play is G. So we know that the G chord is G, B, and D. So you can just play that chord in root position. You don't need to worry about fancy inversions or anything. Just play it in root position, okay? Then notice in the next measure it says G/B. What that means is they want you to play the G chord, okay? But in the bass, they want the lowest note to be a B, okay? So notice that when you're playing the G chord, you can just have a G in the bass, okay? But then the next chord, they want you to play that G chord with a B in the bass. Then the next chord is the C chord. So we're going to play the C in the bass and then the C major chord in our right hand, okay? And then we go back to that G chord. All right? So if you can play those chords, then what you can do is you can hear the harmony underneath your melody, and that will make you understand the music much easier when you're trying to learn a song that you have to sing. Okay? The third skill that is a non-negotiable, and this is my favorite skill, and I think it's the most important, and that is you must learn how to sight read at the piano. So that means that you are just looking at a piece of music for the very first time and being able to play it straight through with little or no mistakes. Now that may sound scary, but it is an invaluable skill because it forces you to think fast, analyze what you're seeing fast, tell your fingers what to do quickly, and it makes you understand the music better. So basically, there are only 2 steps to sight reading successfully. And that is, number 1, you first do a quick analysis of the music, and number 2, you start playing and you don't stop, even when you make mistakes. So when you're doing a quick analysis of the music, what you want to do is you want to look at the key signature, you want to look at the time signature, you want to look at the melody and the chords to see if there are any challenging, tricky things going on, like strange, complex chords, or if the melody has any kind of repeating patterns or lots of skips or lots of stepwise things. You're just taking a visual analysis of the piece. And then what you do is you start to play and you don't stop. Okay, that's really, really important. Even if you make mistakes, don't stop. What you want to do is once you get to the end of the section that you're sight reading, go back and try to figure out where it was that you made those mistakes and try to figure out why you made those mistakes, okay? Was it that you just didn't see the leap or you didn't see the step? Whatever it was, just try to analyze it and then make a mental note of that so that the next time that you sight read, you will be looking for those kinds of things, which will just allow the sight reading of the next piece to be better. So sight reading may seem intimidating, but it is so very important for so many reasons. First of all, it makes you think fast, analyze music fast, and absorb all the information that you need to absorb quickly. It will make you a better sight singer, which is very, very important, and it will help you learn your music faster. So sight read something every single day, and I promise you're going to see that progress faster than you can imagine, okay? The next skill that you need to be able to do is to accompany yourself. Now, again, I'm not talking about playing very difficult accompaniments like by Schubert or Jason Robert Brown, okay? I'm talking about simply being able to have a song that you are singing, but that you are just providing some kind of chordal accompaniment underneath it that helps reinforce that melody with the harmony. So again, here we are with Amazing Grace. What you want to be able to do is just pick out those chords and play them at the right time, just when they are supposed to be played. You don't have to try to come up with any kind of fancy accompaniment figure. The easiest way to do this, as I mentioned before, is to play the roots of the chords or the bass note that they indicate in the lead sheet in your left hand, and then play the chords in your right hand, so that all you're thinking about is just playing the right chords, and then you sing on top of those chords. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Okay? So I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just playing chords. I'm keeping it simple so that I can accompany myself. I can hear how the harmonies fit with the melody, and I can save it all for myself, not having to rely on anybody else to play it for me. Okay? So being able to self-accompany is very, very important. And finally, the last thing that you should be able to do is you should be able to play very simple chord progressions, okay? And what that means is that if you can play the 1 chord, the 5 chord, and the 1 chord again in every single key, you will be able to accompany yourself doing vocalises. Now, what does 1-5-1 mean? Well, if we're talking about the 1 chord is always the triad that is built on the first scale degree of the key. So if we're in C major, okay, C is the first scale degree. So the 1 chord is the triad built on C, which is C, E, and G, okay? Now, the 5 chord is the triad that is built on the 5th scale degree of the key. So if we're in C major, the 5th scale degree is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is G. So the triad on G is G, B, D. Okay? So if you can play the 1 chord, the 5 chord, and the 1 chord in every key, okay? Notice I'm playing this in an inversion. Then you're going to be able to accompany yourself singing any vocalese. It's very easy because every vocalese can be based on those 2 chords, the 1 chord, the 5 chord, and back to the 1 chord. So like if you were doing go, 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 you can just go go, 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 go. So being able to play the 1-5-1 chord progression in every key is an absolutely fabulous non-negotiable skill. Okay? So that wasn't so bad, was it? These 5 skills are the 5 most important piano skills that you need to have under your belt as a singer. So if you need some help gaining those skills, I can help you. I've got some really easy, great courses in the Singer Savvy Academy that can absolutely help you. So check them out. I will have a link in the description below. So good luck. And if this video helped you, then subscribe to my channel because I've got lots more where that came from. Have a great day.